And just like a tug of war rope, if one gets tight, the whole, tug of war rope gets tight. So I am showing a stretch today in this episode for the Achilles and the calves. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Your Second 50, where I explore topics intended to optimize every body 50, 60, 70, and above. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Judy Terrell Show, where I am teaching and giving information for men and women both to optimize the second 50 years that you have on this planet and make them even better than the first 50. All right, that said, you are joining me in episode number 6 in my series on what stretches should people over 70 do to reverse the pain and the discomfort that comes from repetitive everyday activities and positions. I'm targeting over 70 because the stretches that I'm showing are designed for people who are unable to get down to the floor. And so all the stretches I'm showing are either in a standing or sitting position, but that doesn't mean that younger people can't do these stretches all in addition or in also. It just means that the stretches are 70, 80, 90, and older. Everybody should be able to do the ones that I'm showing. All right, so I have been progressively working down the body. We are now on the 6th and the final stretch for reversing the patterns of everyday life. And I have been in the fitness industry and doing personal training and working with individuals to design exercise programs for 42 years. I myself am 60 years old, and so I have my own experience in what it's like to be in a body that's aging. And now when I've combined those two databases or pools of information together, that is what is informing all the series that I'm doing on how to optimize the second 50 years of your life. So today I am presenting a stretch, dynamic limbering, dynamic stretching, which I've explained in the early part of this series, which is a rhythmic kind of internal massage, which is a different type of stretch than a static stretch where you are now taking the muscle that you're targeting and stretching it to its maximum capacity and then holding it. And the reason why I'm showing dynamic stretches over the static stretches is because in my work with 70 plus individuals and even 60s too, what I've observed and found is that as I've tried to do those type of stretches, static stretches with that population, what happens is often the muscles are just so tight and have not been taken to that range in such a long time that they will actually spasm when doing something that is actually good for them because it's just too much at once. We can get you back to being able to take the muscles through that range and then hold them, but we have to do it in a kind of progressive, kinder method. So hence the dynamic stretching that I've been showing in this series. All right, so now we've worked through elbow and wrist and the forearms. We've done front chest and opening that area up. We've done the back of the shoulders and the back muscles. We've done the hip area, front of the hips, the back of the area, the hamstrings. And now I'm ending my series with all the way down to the bottom of the body. And I have had a lot of clients that come in with a variety of calf spasms in the middle of the night and a variety of ankle and foot pain and discomfort. And there's a lot of reasons for foot pain and discomfort. But what I have found is that tight calves and tight Achilles tendons, and they're attached to the they're attached to the heel bone. On the other side of that are the arches of the foot. And just like a tug of war rope, if one gets tight, the whole, tug of war rope gets tight. So I am showing a stretch today in this episode for the Achilles and the calves, which is very helpful for alleviating calf spasms, calf and Achilles tendinitises, and then also even arches of the foot, plantar fasciitis, and just, foot pain that might be happening because of tight Achilles and tight calves. All right. So the series I'm showing exercises, dynamic stretching, which means that it's rhythmic. It's kind of like you stretch it and then not too far, and then you come back, stretch, release, stretch, release, stretch, release. And the number of repetitions that I'm telling you to target is 15. And if you can do Once a day, 15, great. If you can do multiple times a day, 15 up to 3 times. So 15 in the morning, 15 in the afternoon, 15 at night. That would be a wonderful spread through the day, not just for this one exercise or this stretch, but also for this whole series, with which you have 6. But let me show you this exercise, and then we'll finish this episode with, a nice summary of how to institute all 6 of these exercises. Okay, so you have to have some sort of a non-stretchable rope or strap. This is a yoga strap that you can buy, on Amazon. You can buy in any stores, in a fitness department. But what I'm pointing out to you here is that you don't want something that has stretch capacity here. Otherwise, if you do, you're not going to get the full effects of this stretch that I'm going to show you. So it could be a rope, it could be a belt. Everybody's got a belt for their pants, right? Yoga straps are not expensive. So something that is not stretchable, but is like a rope-like, device. And now I'm going to move my chair back so I can show this to you. I am so excited to announce your second 50.life. I have been working in the fitness industry with individuals, both men and women, over 50 years old for 42 years, and really specialized in the last 10 on over 50. I'm over 50 myself by a long shot. And I've helped literally thousands of men and women both to lose the extra body fat that they gain in the second half of their life. 2, feel better in their own bodies energetically. I have helped people to reverse and eliminate health problems, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, pre-diabetes, symptoms of menopause, to name just a few. On this platform, you will have access to an entire body of resources, exercise videos, mini courses, eating plans that are specially designed for over 50 men and women because there's special needs for our demographic. And in addition to the virtual resources that you'll have access to if you join at any time that you'd like, you also have access to me for one-on-one coaching through a group coach call every month. So you can bring your specifics and we can address those as you're also getting information that is specific to the over 50 population. 50s, 60s, 70s, and now 80s is the demographic that I'm working with. So it's your second 50.life, YOURSECOND 50.life. Go check it out. It might be the single best thing that you've looked at like in your second 50s. And you're just going to sit in your chair. Move this back a little further. Okay. So now you're going to take whatever it is that's not stretchable and you're going to put it around the ball of your foot. And then you're going to straighten your leg and bring it up off the floor. All right. It doesn't have to be high off the floor. Just off the floor is going to give you a better position for this stretch. And then what you're going to do is you're going to use your hands and you're going to pull your toes as far as you can comfortably go towards your knee and then release. And that's it. That's one repetition. So it's pull, and you don't want to hold it, and point. So you stretch and then point. That's 3. Stretch and point. That's 4. When you're pulling, you're pressing your heel towards the wall in front of you. 6. And you're going to feel this. You're going to feel the sensations. If you tighten your arches, you're going to feel it there. If you tighten your calves, you're going to feel it there. If you tighten your Achilles, you're going to feel it there. And you don't want to strain. You want to take it to like just a little bit beyond comfortable. And this is 9. We're going for 15 and 10. As you're pulling the toe towards you, you press the heel out. 11 and 12 and 13, 14 and 15. And then release down, switch out. Obviously, you have to do both because you have 2 legs. Coming back up, same thing on this side. And oftentimes what you'll find is that 1, just going to do this as we talk, 2, one side might be a little different than the other. 3, one side might be tighter, one side might be looser. So it's interesting if you find that out, then you're going to spend, we're trying to balance so that you don't have an imbalance in the range for the muscles, but that's not uncommon to find that one side is a little bit different than the other. So that's 8 and 9, 10, 11, and your foot doesn't have to be very high. As a matter of fact, it can be on the floor, but I find that if you can lift it even slightly up, this is a little high. Some people might not be able to get this high, but you can get a better isolation for the area we're trying to stretch. And that's 15. And then release down. And then take your rope off. All right, and that's as simple as it is. And that exercise is very useful for stretching the Achilles. And I have a large number of people who are in the 60, 70, and 80 range. I'm seeing a growing population in that age range. I myself am in the 60 category, that are having a variety of Achilles tendinitises, and some things that actually the Achilles and the calves get so tight that it actually then requires surgery to go in and fix some tissue damage that's been done. So in trying to avoid that for you, if you take on this dynamic stretch for the calf area, you may avoid, some surgeries that might become necessary because it was not addressed early enough to avoid the tissue damage that occurs. So now what I'm going to tell you is you have 6 exercises now, and I'm attaching to this series a form that has each one of them outlined for you. You've watched each episode, so you have the visual, and maybe you've even done them with me as I was doing them, but then you'll have the form to follow. And let me just say, ideally, you're doing all 6 of them every day. Ideally, you're doing all 6 of these stretches 15 times, 3 times a day. But don't think that you're not going to get the benefit if you don't do the full, what I'm suggesting you do for the full amount, because it's really more about consistency. So if you're getting only 4 of them in on Monday, and then maybe you get the other 2 on Tuesday, and then you try and get all of them in on Wednesday, it's just trying to counterbalance the everyday activities that are tightening these body parts and then causing discomfort and pain. So there isn't a perfect formula. If you miss one day, don't think that, I've messed it up, so I might as well just abort the whole project. And that is the number one thought that will lead you astray when you're making headway. So it's just a matter of having the formula. If you don't follow the formula perfectly, just jump right back in the next day. And your goal is to try to be counterbalancing the sheer magnitude of the time that we spend in the positions in everyday life that are making these tight. So in everyday life, for our Achilles, it's very rare that, our feet are flat on the ground. If anything, there's a slight lift of the heel from if you're wearing a heel of any sort. And I know over 70, most of us are not doing that, but even just flat, that's not pushing down like that. So you're never getting the stretch. If this is your foot, you're walking flat on the ground like that, you're never pulling up enough. You're always in either a neutral position. So you're never getting that full stretch for, if this is your calf and this is your foot, this would be the Achilles and the calf. So my point is everyday movement and walking, and sitting for that matter, your foot is it's never in a calf extended position. Very rarely. So we have to put that in to balance out. Otherwise, those muscles, they just atrophy and they get stuck in that one position. And then when you go to stretch them, you can rip, shear the tissue and have pain. So thank you for watching my 6-part series. You now have a nice routine for dynamic stretches to counterbalance the everyday activities and positions in our bodies that we do repetitively over and over again that then factor into syndromes of pain and discomfort, arthritic, situations and tendinitises and all that goes with that. So do this every day. Thank you for watching. Let's make our second 50 even better than our first 50. And stay tuned for the next series, because I'm targeting every single thing that I can to help make our second 50 more on form than our first. Be well, everybody. Thanks for listening, everybody. And if you'd like to have access to more of my resources, then you can reach me at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can go to my new platform at yoursecond50.life. That is yoursecond50.life, or at my website www.judyterrell.com.